Hey everybody, this is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com, and today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Roku, and the British pound versus the Japanese yen. So without further ado, let's look at the charts. Alright, so here's Bitcoin, and as everyone is well aware of, I had the parabolic rise pretty much straight up, and then it has gone pretty much down ever since it became a futures for the NYSE. Went on the NYSE as a futures contract. All the hedge funds, or quote unquote smart money, got into it and started taking everyone else's money who we're thinking is going up to $100,000. But basically, this pattern right here, I don't have a trade for yet. It's just something I started noticing lately. Whenever you see something rise up here like this and it has that parabolic move, it's coming back down. Pretty much every chart I've looked at that has had something like that is going to have a deep retracement eventually. So the people who definitely, people are extremely happy who bought down here in the couple hundreds, even up to a couple thousands, and then sold anywhere, I don't know, after double, triple, quadrupled, 20x your profit, are extremely happy right now. But, you probably saw the articles out there, people saying, oh, it's going to 100,000, oh, it could be the next, digital currencies overtake cash. Maybe in the future there will be something. I don't know much about the ins and outs of it and everything like that. I do own Bitcoin. I have been owning it or have been buying it since it has been going down. I'll talk about here in this trade setup. But I didn't buy when it was up here in the tens of thousands of dollars because I knew just from my own little experience that when you see it go straight up, it's coming back down eventually, and that pretty much falls into that chart that I think everyone's seen before, where it shows the stages of stock price, where it goes straight up, everyone's happy, and then you have the pullback, and then it has the fake little rally up right here, then it starts having despair, and then doom and gloom, and before you know it, once everyone gets all their money out of it, and it's just the smart money back in here at the bottom somewhere, they're going to rise it straight back up. So that's what I think is going to happen in the future. I don't know when or how long it's going to take. I mean, it could be a couple years. This is the daily chart right here, so who knows how long it's going to take. But let me show you something real quick. So since it went straight up right here, what trade setup this is right here? This is, I call my bread and butter trade. This is one I formulated a couple years ago, and it's a really strong trade setup. What it does is you get it out the 50% retracement level. But basically right here, the two pivot points we're looking at is one at the very top and then this one right here. And so as you can see, price been going down, hitting all the different Fibonacci levels, Fibonacci extension levels going down. But what would get us out of the trade is if it ever came back up and hit the 50% level, which is right here. As you can see, there's the bottom pivot, lower pivot. So let's start looking at the 50% retracement level. Nope, not even close to that one. Nope, not even close, not even close, not even close, not even close. So this gray box right here, this is where I have my exit at. Right now the top of it just under 11,000, 10,997. So as you can see, there's a lot of room for it to eventually move up. The thing is, though, I don't know when this downtrend is ending. I'll be honest, I have no idea. I mean, I could guess at it, but I don't know. So what I've been doing is, every $1,000 has been going down, just buying a little bit more, buying a little bit more, and buying more, adding to my position. It's got a little consolidation right here, but who knows if that's going to hold or anything like that. I mean, definitely could come down to the 261.8 Fibonacci extension level. It's a pretty strong level. After that, there isn't one in the positive territory, down to the couple hundreds of dollars. So definitely the downtrend may not be over with it yet, but the thing about it is, even if the Bitcoin goes down to $24 or whatever right there, when it eventually does come back up, the exit's going to be at the 50%. That's still around 9,300. If you want to get out just a little bit earlier, get out around 9,000, 8,500, whatever, that's a long ways to go. So this is what I call a free trade, to where if you get in anywhere under, let's see, the lowest it can go around zero, about 50, whatever. So if you get in anywhere under, say, $8,500, something like that, it's a free trade. You can get out before then, or just a little bit above there. So right now that's the exit I have. I think I'm having exit. I like round numbers, so I think I have mine a little lower, around like $10,000, something like that, rather than 10,900. So I have that right there. You know, if it keeps on going lower, I think I bought some more down here around 3,000. If it goes into 2,000s, buy some more, thousands more, and then hundreds, buy some more. So this is definitely a long-term play. Probably, I mean, it could rocket up tomorrow, who knows? But the way I view it is this is long-term play. So I just buy a little bit more. You know, the further it goes, it goes down. And don't expect it to turn around anytime soon. But that's I'm in for the long haul with it. Assuming it doesn't, you know, go bust or anything like that. But so we'll see. All right, let's look at Roku now. Where'd Roku go? There it is. All right, so Roku is a stock I just owned recently. I just sold it off when it made this nice push up because I had bought down here. Started buying, I think, around here in the 40s and kept on buying it when it got down in the low 30s and high 20s. And then when it made that huge run up after the earnings, I sold it right there because I figured it would either consolidate and then come back a little bit. And I'll show you the daily chart here in a second, the reason why. But basically, this setup right here, this is my lightning trade setup. You can't see the pivot over in that end. But anyway, the pivot point's over there. What's in the daily chart? The upper one you see up here, it never came in, hit the 127% Fibonacci extension level, around $86. So it's still live to go long for it. So came down, broke out, came down, hit 38, so that means the exit would be 74. Of course, it never came and hit that. Came down to hit the 0% Fibonacci level, and that puts the exit at the 50%, so that's around 5150, 5160. As you can see, it still hasn't gotten up there yet. So again, right here, this is what I consider also a free trade, to where if you get in right here, then around $40, your exit's going to be, you know, again, I like round numbers, so my exit would be probably around 50 if I do get in. I'm waiting for it to go a little lower, and I'll show you why here in the daily chart. We'll just go here right now. So yeah, so looking at the daily chart right here, that was the, I'm sorry about that if I didn't say it earlier, that was the 1 hour chart we were talking about earlier. But so here's the daily chart right here. So let me draw my level right here where we'd be getting out at. That's where it broke out of. And there we go. So just under the 51 levels to exit. So you can get 51 if you want to, but I'd get around 50. But anyways, as you can see, lightning trade broke out, came down 38, nothing. Came down, hit the 0. So the way the lightning trade rule set up is once it hits the 0% Fibonacci level without hitting other retracements and going back up in the other levels, the exit stays at the 50% level no matter how much lower it goes down to. So if you get in right now, it is a free trade, but here's the big reason why that I'm holding off getting in right now. Look at this big gap right here. Because after they had the earnings, you had a huge gap up right here from about 34.28 up to 36.45. I did an article a while ago talking about gaps, and this guy went into way more detail than I did about the percentages of the gaps getting filled. And it came out something crazy, like 90% of the time gaps come back and get filled eventually. So I expect a gap this size, especially after this consolidation, to come back and get filled sooner than later. Plus, on top of that right here, look at this. You have the MFI right here, and as I talked about in the last video, it's just a guide I use. I don't use to trade off of, but when you see it being over sold right here, down at the bottom level, that's a good indication that it could go back up. Doesn't happen all the time by any means, but it means it could. Because I mean, look right here. You have the overbought level up here, but it still went up some more. And then you have the oversold level down here, and then it did pivot up. But look right here, you have the overbought level hitting up in the overbought zone. So I think what I'm waiting on is for it to get back down into the mid 30s. When it does that, I will probably jump back in, get in this trade, and look for it to get around $50. And then of course, if it keeps on going lower, I'll buy it. The lower it goes. Probably if my first entry is in around here in the mid 30s. Then my next entry would be around, I don't think it'll go down to $16, but yeah, it'd be around $16, $17 would be my next entry to get in. I'm for it. So that's the Roku trade. I do like it. You can get in right now if you want to. I'd recommend only getting in at using a small entry right now, because I do think it is going to retrace a little bit here before going back and hitting that. Hey, I may be wrong. It may just shoot straight up and hit that, but that's just the way I am playing this right now. Don't take my advice or anything as financial stuff. So um, let's look at the British pound and Japanese yen. Okay, well, here's a bonus for you if you want a bonus. Here's the British pound and the New Zealand, whatever they call their stuff. This right here is a lightning trade setup. It actually is one I'm in. It's a free trade. You can see right here, price came down, broke out, never hit the 127 going short. So so you can get in it. So it's live to get in short. Hit 38, never came down and hit the 0. So that's good. And now it's come up and hit the 100% line. And so now the exit is going to be just above the 50% exit, which I have mine at 1.8825, about 256. And then my next entry I have is up here at the 161.8. May get in sooner than that, I don't know, but that was one of the things I'm really looking to do with my forex trades, because in December it really slowed my growth because I started trying to get in like down here when price is breaking out, trying to get momentum plays, and of course every time I do that, just about price retraces way back against me, and although it still becomes profitable trades based upon where I get in for it, since luckily I get in with the small entry. If I'm looking for momentum play, it just takes more margin away from me from other trades that I could be taking that would be a lot more profitable. So I'm looking for is only what I consider the free trades. This is a free trade right here, so from right there to right there, free trade, and if he's going against me, hey, that's fine as well. I'm looking for it to eventually come back and hit just above the 50, so just a waiting game. And also as well, the rollover rate, the short rollover rate, it's going to give you a little interest to your account when you hold it. So if you ever hold it for a couple of days, weeks, whatever, you at least get a little scratch going into your account. This blue line up here, now this is a longer term trade to the upside that I'm not taking and am not in, just because. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, so this was another lightning trade up here. Let's go down 4-hour chart so you can see that a little bit better. But I had just made a note of that because eventually price will come back up here and hit it on the downside from where it is here. Let me show you with this right here. You can see it came and hit the 261.8 perfectly and started bouncing right up on there. So if I wish that the long rollover rate was long, I definitely would have gotten in that. But since the short rollover rate is long, then I'm going to short it, looking for a go down there. But that just is something to keep in mind, and that is another reason why I have a limit order. I have another limit order rating at 127, then another one at the 161, because I do expect it eventually to come up here and hit that. When it happens, I don't know. Hopefully it comes down and takes that out first, but hitting up there. But if it does, it does. No big deal. And then let's look at the GBP JPY. You know what? I think it was supposed to be the GBP NZD is what we're going to talk about, because I think I talked about the GBP JPY last time, but if not, here it is. This is this lightning trade right here. Yeah, I did talk about it last time, but that's all right. We'll go over it again. Here it is right here. You can see, I believe the trade is either off a 15-minute chart or 1-hour chart is when I took the original trade for it. Yeah, that's where it was. That's what it was off of. It was off of the 15-minute. Yeah, there we go. So anyways, see it broke up, never hit, and then I'm going to zoom out since it's easier to see from a longer time frame. Came back down. You see this is when I definitely got in. I was looking for a minimum play to go back up to the 127. Never did. Hit the 38, hit the 0, kept on going down, down, down. You see down here, hit perfectly off the 261.8. And ever since then has just been going off. And no, I'm not in that 261.8. I did put my limit order after the fact that it got hit, but I'm in. I guess the best one I have is right here, just under the 161.8. So what I'm looking for is price to come up just below the 50% level at 145.846. So definitely right now, if you want to, it's a free trade. Good entry to get into it right now. It's between the 100 and 127. And definitely price could, retrace back before it hits back up again. Let's see where the daily MFI is right now. Starting to get up into the upper territory. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come back, but as you can see down here, when you hit that oversold territory, it bounced back up pretty nicely. But Anyways, so that's that trade. Those are three things right now I'm looking for. Bitcoin I'm in right now, the GBP NZD and the GBP JPY I am in right now, and then Roku I'm looking at getting in when it if it goes back down into the mid 30s before it goes up and takes out that exit. So anyways, hope that helped. Have any questions, let me know, and let's try to make some money. Thanks, bye.